So we're going to talk today about the p-series and decide if it can determine if it converges or diverges. Okay. We've already kind of touched on this one. You have to fill in there. So get that written down. All right, you guys, write it down. This should say n equals 1. Same thing here. Did I just text you again?
Yeah.
Oh, it was an automatic one that I just set out, probably.
I'm in class, Miss Ballard.
Okay.
Text me later.
Okay, so a p-series has this form where we've got, remember the sigma notation means sum, okay? The sum from 1 to infinity of 1 over n to the p. And we've kind of seen this form before, okay? And then if it's considered what we call harmonic, you don't necessarily need to know those words, okay? But it's a harmonic series if the p-value is equal to 1, all right? And then this here, I don't think we really used it a whole lot, but it's in there just in case you need it. That's the generic kind of form of the series. All right, we got everything we need there? No. No? Okay. All right, we good now? Okay, so you have to fill in a couple of blanks there too, right? So this is what it tells us if it converges or diverges. That's what should go in the boxes. And again, I think we've seen this before. So it converges if p is greater than or equal to 1 and you recognize that it's a p-series, okay? So again, it has to be in that form, 1 over some kind of a number to the p, okay? And it diverges if p is between 0 and equal to 1, okay? So let's try some of these. So looking at this one, in this first one here, if I thought about rewriting that, that's the same as saying this, isn't it? Oops, 1 over 3 to the first, dot, dot, dot. So what's p equal to? P is equal to, all I did was write it out with the exponent on it, right? Because I'm looking, because it has to be a p-series, it has to be in this form, 1 over n to the p. Okay, and your n value, your number in there is going to keep changing, and it's going to have an exponent on it. Okay? So the exponent that's on it happens to be 1, so our p is equal to 1, so that means it's between 0 and 1, so does it converge or diverge? What did we just say? Which one does it fit in? Diverges, so therefore that one diverges. Okay. The p-value is equal to 1. It fits in here, doesn't it? It's in between 0 and 1. So it has to diverge. That's what the theorem tells us. Okay? There's nothing else to explain.
No, but I don't know. Where'd you get P from?
P is the exponent.
Oh.
Okay? Alright. Looking at the next one, I need to rewrite that. So I'm getting the same p-value on it, okay? So I'm going to try rewriting it. Those look like square numbers, don't they? So let's try rewriting them as squares. So then I'd have 2 squared. What would the next one be?
3 squared.
3 squared. Dot, dot, dot. Okay. So what's your p-value this time? 2. So 2 is greater than 1. So does it converge or diverge?
It converges.
Converges.
Sick.
All right, we're going to do 2 more and then we're done. We're going to skip example 5. Okay? All right, looking at this one here,
1 over 1 squared. 1 over 2 squared.
I'm going to rewrite it
1 over 3 squares.
n to the 1/4 power.
So then P is 2.
Okay, what's your p this time?
Converging.
1/4. So that is between 0 and 1. So does it converge or diverge?
Diverges.
Diverges.
Bro, this is so easy.
Okay. All right, the next one's a little bit uglier. Okay. I have to kind of figure out what the pattern is that I've got going there. So I'm going to ignore the first one. I'm going to work with the second term. Aren't those square numbers again? Yeah, so couldn't I rewrite this first one as 2 squared times 2 to the 1/2 power? Right? And then I'd have 3 squared times 3 to the 1/2 power. So isn't that pattern going to continue throughout all of them? So what I really need to do is figure out what the exponent is on the base. What's another way to write that too? In halves. 4 over 2. So what's 4 halves plus 2 halves?
5.
So isn't that the p-value this time?
5 halves.
So p is 5 halves. So is it between 0 and 1 or is it bigger than 1?
Greater than 1.
Greater than 1. So therefore does it converge or diverge?
Converges.
Converges. What's wrong, Joaquin? Yep. All right, so do we understand how I got 2 squared? And 3 squared? Okay, so what I need to do now is so this is the same base, which means I'm allowed to add the exponents. Okay, so in order to add the exponents, I need to make this in halves, so I'm turning it into 4 halves. 4 halves plus 1/2 is 5 halves. So 5 halves would be my p, and I wouldn't need to keep doing it, I just need to recognize the pattern. Okay, that's it. It's the whole lesson. I know. Okay, so you have the entire rest of the period to work on homework. I'm going to skip 5. Okay? So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. I cut out the problems that had to do with 5 on the homework. Okay? So you should be able to accomplish this homework and probably last night's homework or maybe even do the extra credit that's out there till Thursday. Okay? So those are your options right now. If you want something stamped, you can come see me. Okay? Sound good?